So as you know, I've just had an amazing holiday down in Cornwall. I got to explore some picturesque locations, got some great shots, and of course now I'm home. I'm trying to avoid those dreaded holiday blues. Well, I think I've got the perfect solution. Hi there, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Hothfield Heathlands Nature Reserve. Now that is a little bit of a mouthful, isn't it? So the hardest decision today was where to go, what to shoot. I thought about beach photography, but I've just been down to Cornwall. I've been doing coastal photography recently, so I need to do something a little bit different. I thought about doing some woodland photography, but again, autumn is just around the corner. It won't be long until we see the trees changing to some rich, beautiful colours. So I thought that could wait a little bit longer. So why here of all places this morning? Well, I've seen some amazing shots on social media of late of some wild heather in the Peak District. Truly is beautiful up that way this time of the year. And I thought I've got to get in on the act. This location here is one of the few places in Kent where it can be found. So that's what I'm here to do. Got to go find it before I can shoot it. So let's go. This way, this way. Time for a break, I think. Time to talk to you today about today's main topic for this video. After all, this is the first opportunity I've had to get out with the camera. Since Cornwall, I've just not been able to get out and about. And yes, I had an amazing time exploring the coastline, getting some great shots. And of course, I'd love to explore Cornwall more because I'm sure there's more on offer, and I'd move down there tomorrow if ever I got the opportunity. But this is what I love about Kent. This is what I love about my home. There's so much variety on offer. There's woodland, there's rolling hills, there's coastline. There's a little bit of everything down here. Of course, I'm not even far from some pretty great towns for some street photography if ever I want to do it. And that is how I'm beating the holiday blues, really. Just keeping it nice and simple, just reminding myself really why I get out with the camera. And it's the why I get out with the camera. It's not where I go, it's why I go. And of course I go out to relax, to enjoy nature, to see the world through the lens, really. And I'd love to hear your own thoughts as to how you get back into your routine after a holiday. So let me know down in the comments below. So the last shot of the morning, and I think I've found the perfect composition. I've got two trees to the left and to the right. I've got a pathway leading through the middle, and then we've got heather over to the left, to the right, all dotted around bits of purple in a sea of green. However, I think it's time. I've got a new tripod. So I'm all set up, ready to go. I'm going to jump straight into the settings today. I know I usually give a quick fire run through of what I'm using. I don't really give you the why. So we're at ISO 100, which gives us a shutter of 1/25th of a second. It's nice and calm out here this morning, but if a little bit of breeze comes along while I've got a 2-second timer activated, it might just blur out a little bit of the leaves. So even though I'm on the tripod, I'm going to go against what I normally do. I'm going to ramp up the ISO. I'm going to go ISO 400 for this case. Means I now have to go for a shutter of 1/200th of a second. It means we should now be fast enough so if there is a little bit of breeze that comes along, we shouldn't have to worry about it at any point, even when we press that shutter or during the 2-second timer. It's all about the exposure triangle at the end of the day. Of course, we're shooting a scene like this, you need to think, is there any movement? Is there any wind? It could, of course, deprive us of any sharpness. Of course, if we're shooting a long exposure, doesn't really matter. We can keep that ISO at 100. We can slow down the shutter as much as we need to, below a second, and we'll still get that smoothness that we're looking for. But on a day like this, it's always best just to sacrifice the ISO where possible. We don't want to sacrifice the aperture. We don't want to go down to 5.6. We want to keep that about f8. So of course we get nice sharpness throughout, and then it will allow the shutter to be ramped up when needed. Focus point. Focus is nicely in the middle of the shot. And then I've got this nifty little feature with the Canon camera where if I just hold down the shutter ever so slightly and then rotate the control ring, it just gives me a bit of an indication as to what's in focus and what isn't. Of course, we want as well a 2-second timer just for safety's sake. 1/100th of a second, shouldn't need to worry about camera shake, but I always add it as a safety feature. So there's our 2-second timer activated, and this is what the final shot will look like.